Hello everyone! In the previous videos, we showed how easy it is to install our portal. Now let's look at how to perform the initial configuration of the portal and the auditor. Let's open our portal and go to the auditor section. Here we need to enter the URL for our auditor and its access token. We immediately see that the portal is able to connect to the auditor's address and authenticate. Next, we need to specify the private SSH key, which will be passed to a special job that clones the code from repositories. Let's create this key using SSH Keygen. Copy your private key and put it here. Now we need to add the public key to our Git profile settings. Copy the public key you've just created and add it to your Git profile. To do this, go to your profile, Preferences, then to SSH keys and click the Add Key button. Paste the key and give it a name, for example, Test. That's it. Thanks to the fact that we added the keys in Git, we now have the ability to clone private repositories. Now let's go back to our portal settings. Before starting the scan, we must configure the code downloader job. To do this, go to the Jobs section. Open the job R Code Downloader. Here you must change these servers to those which are used in your company. For example, gitlab.company.com. This job will perform an SSH host verification of your GitLab and mark it as trusted. Please make sure Auditor Service has access to your Git SSH port. Nothing else needs to be changed. Now we need to go to the Sequences section and create a new sequence. Let's name the sequence Demo. A sequence must start with the code downloader job if we want to scan the code. Next, we need to select a scanner. For example, we will use Bandit. Any job can be viewed and edited in these settings. Important point: there are variables such as repository that are mandatory for the job to run. Scan type. We have different scanners to choose from. Later, we will show how to add them to our portal. Report file name. The auditor uses this variable to know which file should be sent to the portal as a report. When writing your jobs, remember that they must send their results to the data folder, and then you can use report file name. You can also use our default settings. Let's open an asset and start a scan. We already have assets. But if you don't have any, you can click Add Repository. For now, you can add them manually. The job sequence can immediately be specified as Demo. Create an asset. Find it. And now we can manually start an audit and verify that our audit works. We see how the pipelines start running. Note: all these pipelines write information to the logs while execution. And we can look at every single job. In our CI service, you can also configure the cleaning of artifacts, for example, to keep them for only 1 day. Here you also see all the jobs with our images. You can use your own images, by the way. You can also specify the Docker credentials, which are needed to pull images from private Docker registries. You can also see information about workers and their status. You can set timeouts for your pipelines to prevent them from running too long. You can also add your custom DNS servers. We've learned how to do the initial configuration of the portal and the auditor, as well as the configuration options provided by our solution. In the next video, we will look at validation rules.